Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, what a time for my cough to come back. This is going to be Harry Muppet, and we are going to be casting the grand final of the DreamHack Open Summer Tournament. And my god, what a tournament this has been. You can tell it's epic because the music has decided to turn on for this game, so that is absolutely fantastic. Now, here we go. Down in the bottom right side, we do have a blue Protoss player, StarDust. Now, StarDust has just been impressing the hell out of me. I really didn't know who he was before I started casting this tournament, but the quarterfinals, he did some insane force field work against Hyun. And Hyun I have cast before in a couple of tournaments, and he's an extremely solid player, but StarDust, man, really taking it to him. Really showing that he is an immensely great Protoss player. And in the semi-final, man, he went up against SC2, the last remaining Swedish player in the tournament. And yeah, SC2, man, a Terran player, really going out there with the Triple M and the Widow Mines, but StarDust, man, all over the place. He pumped out the storms, doing absolutely fantastic damage, and he punished SC2 very severely when he decided to go for a very early command center before barracks, actually, and StarDust just completely owned him in that game with some very early pressure, actually a 4-gate and a Oracle and a Mothership core. So very awesome. And I'm going to be completely honest, I'm starting to think I have some sort of man crush on StarDust, simply because he is so awesome, and he is a Protoss man, and I love Protoss players, I really do. And there we go, he's going for a fairly early expansion. Actually, this is exactly what what's his face actually did. SC2 actually did in the last game before StarDust beat him. He went for a very early expansion, and he's going to try and do the same. He's going to go for the Forge, but the Nexus before the Forge, which is quite risky, especially against a Zerg player. But up in the top left, it is not just any Zerg player, it is Jaedong, and he is an immensely awesome player. He really dominated in every single game that he was in. Let's have a look back. In the quarterfinals, he went up against Lucifron, extremely top Terran player, going for the Triple M and the Widow Mines. He did lots of good work, but Jaedong, man, just punished him so badly with the Mutaling, and just went out there and just did some awesome work. And then, in the semi-finals, he went up against Taja, another Terran player, man. And yeah, the Taja, man, he went for Triple M and Widow Mines again. Seems to be a very nice tactic. But Jaedong, man, he went for early Ling pressure and went into mutas in mid-game and did some awesome work. And in the second game between Jaedong and Taja, man, we saw bronze level Baneling bust in all its glory, man. He just went in there, busted through the bunker, sent Lings in all over the place. Taja was not expecting it. How can you possibly expect a bronze level Baneling bust in the semi-finals of the DreamHack Open Summer Tournament, man? I mean, seriously, that is just the most insane thing I have ever seen. But Jaedong did it, and he got into the Grand Finals tournament, and he is up against StarDust, and both these players, by far the two most impressive players I have seen in this tournament so far. I mean, some games, some people, they win by a little bit, they win by a lot, but these are the only two players that are constantly getting out there and doing so much good work, and now they are facing each other. They are the last two players in this tournament. There's actually no third or fourth place tournament going on. Third place tournament. There's no third place matches, so I'm not going to be able to cast those, but there is the grand final. We're going to be able to see this right the hell now. And oh man, this is actually like an hour after I finished casting the semi-finals. I was originally planning to just take it easy for the rest of the day, leave the grand finals to some weeknight to do them. But yeah, I couldn't wait, man. I just needed to find out what was going on, and early Ling pressure, man. Once again, Jaedong going in here. He's managed to get off the third base and still get a crap load of Lings. How the hell did he do that, man? How the hell did he get this many Lings up while still getting his third base up? This is the most insane thing I have ever seen. And these guys are going nuts. They've got more than enough to take out the buildings. There's one cannon coming up. with a pylon keeping it up. I'm sorry my computer is lagging, but there's just too much awesome all over the place. And yeah, what is he going to be able to do? He's got a sentry here. He can put a force field up there. That would be a very good option to keep him away from this cannon. He might do that when it starts to get a bit lower on health. He's building buildings up here. He's trying really hard. There we go, the force field. Keeps the cannon alive at the last second. But they're coming up from the other side through here. And 2 more cannons keeping up. It might be enough to fend off these forces, but man, oh man, oh man. He's had to build another wall behind the main wall simply because the main wall got taken down. And my god, we have seen some impressive macro there, but that borders on the absolute incredible. That borders on the absolute stupidly amazing. And how the hell did Jaedong get that many lings out and a 3rd base by the 6-minute mark? Man, I have no idea. It completely. I thought I was a pro level caster. I've been doing pro level games for a while, and I thought I was on top of my shit. But my god, I could not believe my eyes. I thought there was something wrong with the game. I thought maybe Jaedong had started cheating or something like that, because it did not seem possible. And another thing that doesn't seem possible is StarDust actually holding that off, but he did manage to do that. He lost every single building in his front line, but he was so quick at building up the pylons to keep them up, to keep those lings out. And with 2 cannons and a sentry, it might be enough, unless they go for this pylon. I don't think only 1 cannon's in range of that pylon, but oh man, will he go for a baneling bust again? If he does a baneling bust here, that is going to hurt quite a bit. StarDust is a bit more prepared than Taejo was, but it could still be quite devastating. And excuse me, bloody cough never goes away. And yeah, but Jaedong, he's not actually that much in front in terms of the workers, man. StarDust been putting on all that Protoss pressure onto his workers, whipping them to get them to pop out faster. He's been doing a really good job. He is not behind by any stretch of the imagination. And yeah, Jaedong is doing a good job. He's getting the economy out where he needs to get it out. He's putting the pressure on where he needs to pressure it on, man. But StarDust is not going to be knocked over. Even an immensely superior amount of lings, immensely fast in the game, is not going to be enough to knock him out. And if he can get around these forces and get in, then that would be awesome. But yeah, he's going to wall this off straight away, getting this pylon back up there and a zealot stopping up this gap. And yeah, he should be fine. He's still got the 2 cannons back there. And yeah, these lings not going to be able to do much. Meanwhile, the Protoss is solidifying his 2 bases. He's got quite a bit of workers. The Zerg is starting to go nuts on the macro though. You can see building 20 workers there. He's getting the is this a lair coming out? Yes, I think it's a lair. Yeah, I would have expected the lair a little bit sooner, but it's not, considering how much ling pressure he's been doing, it's not a horrible time to be getting a lair. I suppose if he got it any sooner, he wouldn't be able to do this much pressure. So yeah, why not? Still going to be fairly good. Nice battle up here, but a lot of stalkers, and stalkers not too good against lings. He's obviously expecting some sort of roach transition, which is why he's got this many stalkers. He's actually he's sort of fielded himself in there. A large amount of lings though, and if he does not fight in a favourable position, he's going to be completely screwed. You can see these lings back here. They would love to get a flank on these forces when they move in. But yeah, it's going to be a bit out of position, getting a bit too close. And yeah, they end up getting taking a couple of hits. But this 1 pylon down there, going to be sending in a ton of reinforcements. You can see the Protoss army beating the Zerg army by about 10 units. And he is going to be doing quite a bit of damage. He's got to move in. He'd love to take out the 3rd base, but the Zerg a step ahead of him. He's got a couple of spine crawlers coming down here. So this base should be alright for now. He sees the spine crawlers, he's going to go for the expansion. Spine crawlers coming down here as well, but they're a little bit delayed. And the force field's keeping out most of those lings. He's going to mop up the rest. These guys coming back, they do not want to get flanked. They're going to chase these guys away from the pylons. He needs these pylons to get his reinforcements in. And yeah, some great play from both players at this time. He really wants these pylons, but they're in such a good position. 2 zealots going to be doing all sorts of damage and constantly forcing the Protoss to defend these pylons, instead of going in and actually hitting bases. And there we go, there's another spine crawler coming down. He's gone spine crazy at the moment, trying to get a flank here, but there's not enough forces he's sending in. He's trying to get these pylons down, but a few zealots just doing so much, killing so many lings before they finally get taken out. and he's really whittling down the Zerg army here. The Zerg needs to stop building Lings. They're just the Zealots are starting to reach a critical amount, and if he keeps sending Lings, then his army is just going to get slaughtered. He needs to transition into Roaches to start pushing this army back, or some other tech structure, because I mean, Lings just are not working anymore. There's just too much Zealot DPS in here. I don't know if he has legs. He does not have legs, but still, it's more than enough to take out these guys. And the only thing stopping him from going all in on one of these bases is the danger of getting flanked when he gets close enough to be hit by all those spine crawlers. And he does not want to get in that position where he gets flanked when he's up near the spine crawlers. He sends out his... So you see all the Lings go straight in. As soon as he gets close to the spine crawlers, then they run away when the Protoss army moves away. So very close, back and forth. The Zerg player not going for any Roaches, man. He's pushing the Lings very hard. And these guys, they're thinking about maybe moving out, harassing the Protoss. This would be a good time, actually, because the third base has just come out now. Oh, look at that. Look at these forces protecting the pylon, man. That is an obscene amount of forces just to protect that pylon. I'm guessing when he does a push out, though, he's going to take them away. He really needs to wipe out one of the bases, though. He's been doing a lot of damage, but all he's been killing is Lings. And Lings are like, who gives a shit if they die? So he really needs to take out a base. These guys going in, taking out this base. A couple of Zealots going to be warped in. They're going to help the situation, but eventually they will go down. And he might be able to buy himself some time. Here we go. Beautiful force fields there. We've said a lot about StarDust's use of force fields, and that was just beautiful. He killed about 10-15 Lings there. He was thinking about going into this base, using the force fields to try and do something, but he did a zig and a zag, and then he started going back to the expansion. A Zerg is not fooled, though. He knows what's going on, but he is sending all his Lings over. He's going to do some nice pressure on here. With 5 Zealots on there, this base is going to be defended for now, but with these reinforcements, these Zealots are all going to go down. The Protoss still will not commit to taking out one of these bases. There's so many spine crawlers, he really needs to do something. And I mean, he's taking care of the Lings. He's doing some good pressure. And if he could keep this third base up, he would be in such a lead there. It would be 3 base versus 3 base, and he would be able to overwhelm the Zerg player. But right now, that's third base getting taken out, and the Protoss using this advantage, all the Lings being down there, he's going to push in. He's going to take out this hatchery. The Lings are going to come back, but they're not going to be in time to stop the Protoss from doing the damage he needs to do. However, I do not know if the Protoss will actually survive. His army might just whittle down quite a bit. Beautiful split there on the Lings. He needs another one up the top side. There we go. The hatchery comes down. He's just gone at force field crazy, actually. And is a range attacks. And what the F? There's a swarm host out on the field, man. When was the last time we saw swarm hosts, man? They were cool for a while, and they were very annoying, but we haven't seen them for so long. And here comes the swarm host, man. There's obviously a last-ditch attempt to do some harass from the top of the ramp here to keep these guys locked down, and it was good because the Protoss couldn't push into either of these bases, so Swarm Host would have just forced the Protoss to back down so fast, but unfortunately he didn't get the Swarm Host numbers he needed in time, and he went for this Ling offensive. He needed to kill that third expansion. There's no question about it. If he didn't kill this third expansion from the Protoss player, he would have lost. But he needed to send out most of his Ling force to take it out, and while the Lings were away, the Zealots will play, and they took out this expansion over here. So it's pretty much a case of if you send all your Lings out, you're screwed, and if you don't send them out, you're screwed. So Jaedong, man, for the first time in this tournament, he is up against the wall a little bit. He has found somebody who's finally able to do the pressure that he needs to do. Jaedong in the quarterfinals, in the semis, man, he went nuts. He did not lose a single game, but StarDust has cost him a game right now, and StarDust is in the lead. My hero StarDust going for the win, and I don't care what you say, I am going for StarDust because I love him. I love Protoss, okay? I love Protoss players, and he is an awesome Protoss player, and I love his playstyle, and yeah, let's get it done. Let's go on. Let's go on to game number 2. StarDust, you are awesome. Thank you very much for this. This has been Hairy Muppet.